Every migration begins when survival pulls all life toward abundance. Together, tiny bodies become one enormous moving shield for survival. The hunters arrive before the ocean reveals their presence fully. Pressure from below slowly reshapes the silver river swimming above. From the sky, movement becomes an unmistakable invitation far below. One plunge becomes hundreds when the feeding opportunity expands suddenly. Dolphins read the moving water long before humans ever could. Cooperation transforms scattered prey into one concentrated opportunity for hunters. Each precise strike saves energy for the long journey ahead. Below the dolphins, another hunter follows the gathering signals carefully. Predators exploit openings, but the shoal repairs itself immediately afterward. Different hunters share one migration without ever moving as one. Near the surface, blacktips turn sunlight into camouflage during pursuit. Depth separates competitors while keeping every hunter near food sources. A young seal enters carefully, balancing hunger against immediate danger.
Agility offers protection where raw speed alone cannot guarantee survival.
Even flightless birds depend upon this moving source of life. The migration feeds coastlines far beyond its crowded center today. From deeper water, a giant follows the same ancient signal. One immense mouthful rewards miles of patient ocean tracking today. One moving shoal connects hunters across sea, sky, and shore. Across open oceans, invisible routes guide giants between distant seasons. Temperature, food, and memory shape every journey across blue horizons. Humpbacks leave polar feeding grounds when winter darkness begins spreading. Mothers conserve strength while calves learn the rhythm of migration. Blue whales follow shifting krill fields across immense ocean distances. Their enormous bodies travel quietly through waters without visible boundaries. A single breath marks progress across thousands of open miles. They rarely travel directly, following prey through productive current systems.
Gray whales hug coastlines during one of nature's longest migrations.
Calves rest beside mothers, while shallow waters reduce dangerous encounters. Each familiar bay becomes a landmark along their northern return. White whales travel slowly through crowded coastal waters each spring. Mothers guide newborn calves toward richer feeding grounds farther north. Southern right whales return yearly to sheltered coastal nursery waters. Close social contact helps calves strengthen before the ocean crossing. Their departure begins gradually, guided by temperature and growing hunger. Sei whales track seasonal plankton blooms across temperate ocean fronts. Minke whales move between feeding zones with quiet efficiency annually. Their smaller size allows faster turns among scattered schooling fish. Sperm whale movements link deep hunting grounds across ocean basins. Adult males range farther north, while families remain warmer waters. Across open water, sharks follow routes written by temperature changes. Great whites travel farther than coastlines alone can ever reveal. Seasonal prey movements pull these hunters across entire ocean basins. Young sharks learn migration through instinct, currents, and repeated journeys. Whale sharks cross tropical seas searching for concentrated plankton blooms. Their enormous size conceals a remarkably gentle ocean feeding strategy.
Tiger sharks connect islands, reefs, and distant continental shelf waters.
Flexible diets allow survival throughout changing habitats and seasonal routes. Their wide heads detect hidden electrical signals beneath moving sand.
No shark rules one place when survival demands constant movement.
Mako sharks turn ocean currents into fast, efficient migration corridors. Speed matters most when prey remains scattered across open water. Oceanic whitetips roam far beyond reefs, shelves, and coastal shelter. In emptier seas, patience becomes as valuable as sudden speed. These corridors connect predators, prey, seasons, and entire ocean systems. Blue sharks follow cooler currents across wide temperate ocean zones. Basking sharks gather where seasonal plankton blooms reach the surface.
Despite their size, they feed by filtering drifting ocean life. Seasonal abundance determines when these gentle giants gather and depart.
Salmon sharks patrol cold waters where returning fish concentrate seasonally. Warm mussels help them remain active inside frigid northern currents. Porbeagles travel through cool Atlantic waters, following moving prey fields.
Their migration reveals connections between distant feeding and breeding zones.
Leatherbacks cross entire oceans, guided by temperature, memra, and currents. A distant beach becomes the final destination after years offshore. Loggerheads return across gyres shaped by currents and magnetic memory. Powerful jaws suit a traveler feeding across changing continental shelves. Green turtles revisit seagrass meadows separated from their nesting beaches.
Long migrations connect quiet feeding grounds with crowded tropical shores.
Their journey ends where warm sand offers the safest nursery. Hawksbills navigate complex reefs while returning toward familiar island beaches. Olive ridleys gather offshore before nesting together across open beaches. Thousands arriving together overwhelm predators through sheer, synchronized abundance ashore. The return journey begins quickly once nesting work finally ends. Kemp's ridleys travel through Gulf waters toward narrow nesting zones. Small bodies still complete migrations, spanning feeding and breeding habitats.
Flatback turtles remain closer to Australia's continental shelf than others.
Flatback hatchlings face a short but dangerous coastal beginning alone.
Spiny lobsters migrate in lines when storms disturb shallow reefs.
Following neighbors reduces exposure while crossing open sandy seafloors together.
Deeper water offers shelter after exposed reef habitats become turbulent. Giant cuttlefish return seasonally to breed beneath southern Australian waters. Color signals replace distance once crowded breeding grounds finally appear. Atlantic bluefin cross cold boundaries while following dense seasonal prey.
Powerful mussels preserve warmth during long journeys through colder waters.
Pacific bluefin connect nursery seas with distant feeding grounds annually. Young tuna learn routes through currents, hunger, and repeated movement. Southern bluefin circle cold oceans, searching for concentrated moving prey. Their migration links southern continents through one continuous ocean system. Yellowfin tuna exploit warm currents where baitfish gather near sunlight.
Coordinated attacks divide prey schools without wasting valuable hunting energy.
Big-eye tuna descend daily, following prey into cooler, deeper layers. Large eyes gather scarce light where daytime hunting continues below. Albacore follow temperate fronts where smaller fish concentrate seasonally offshore. Long fins support efficient travel across restless open ocean current systems. Swordfish cross warm surfaces before descending into cold darkness below. Blue marlin patrol tropical currents, where fast prey remains scattered.
Their bills strike schools before powerful jaws collect stunned prey. Color changes communicate excitement during brief cooperative hunting encounters offshore.
Sailfish gather where currents compress baitfish against warmer surface waters.
Raised sails help control sudden turns around tightly packed prey.
Speed alone never guarantees success across unpredictable open ocean hunts. Every predator conserves energy between brief moments of explosive acceleration.
Migration transforms scattered hunters into travelers connected by moving food.
Freshwater currents test bodies adapted for life within cold seas.
Every rapid removes energy reserved for spawning farther upstream today.
Their final journey ends where gravel protects the next generation. Sockeye salmon transform crimson while approaching clear northern spawning streams.
Color intensifies as stored ocean energy fuels reproduction upstream today.
Coho salmon navigate shaded tributaries after surviving exposed coastal waters.
Chum salmon return in great numbers across shallow coastal rivers.
Their striped bodies signal maturity near cold gravel spawning grounds.
Dense runs fill narrow channels with constant silver movement upstream.
Night currents hide their passage through estuaries toward deeper water.
They stop feeding as stored energy carries them toward spawning.
American shad return from Atlantic waters into rivers each spring.
Unlike salmon, many adults survive spawning and return seaward afterward.
Atlantic herring transform open water into vast, moving silver rivers.
Their synchronized turns confuse predators while preserving precious collective energy. Every shifting school becomes a temporary highway for hungry hunters.
Pacific herring gather near coastlines where spawning currents concentrate life.
Their eggs anchor entire coastal food webs during springtime abundance. Millions crowd shallow beaches, turning coastlines into living silver tides.
Peruvian anchoveta follow nutrient-rich currents rising along South America's coast.
Cold upwelling sustains enormous schools beneath bright desert coastlines annually.
When currents weaken, entire feeding networks begin shifting farther offshore.
European anchovies move between coastal nurseries and deeper feeding waters.
Small bodies survive through speed, schooling, and constant directional changes.
Their migration draws tuna, dolphins, and seabirds toward coastal abundance.
Atlantic mackerel cross continental shelves following temperature and concentrated prey. Striped bodies flash together while predators struggle to isolate individuals. Seasonal movements connect distant spawning grounds with productive northern waters. Chub mackerel travel through warmer seas where plankton blooms develop. Flexible feeding allows these schools to exploit changing ocean conditions. Chilean jack mackerel form immense schools across the southeastern Pacific.
These migrations span open oceans far beyond any visible coastline.
Millions move together, reshaping predator movements across vast current systems. Atlantic menhaden carry coastal productivity through estuaries and offshore waters. Their dense schools support whales, seabirds, sharks, and commercial fisheries. One small fish species can sustain an entire coastal ecosystem.
Japanese sardines expand across productive currents during favorable ocean cycles.
Population surges create spectacular migrations across the western North Pacific.
The silver rivers continue, guiding seabirds toward the next chapter. Above migrating sardines, Arctic terns begin journeys between Earth's poles.
They follow summer light across oceans wider than continents below. Sooty shearwaters cross entire Pacific basins, following seasonal food pulses.
Efficient gliding conserves energy across weeks of uninterrupted ocean travel.
Manx shearwaters return precisely to islands hidden within Atlantic storms.
Night arrivals reduce danger, while ancient colonies awaken along cliffs.
Their navigation combines scent, stars, magnetic fields, and inherited memory.
Short-tailed shearwaters connect Australia with productive northern Pacific waters annually. Millions follow plankton blooms across hemispheres without visible ocean landmarks. Wandering albatrosses circle southern oceans, using powerful winds as highways.
Their enormous wings extract energy from waves and moving air. Black-browed albatrosses commute between colonies and rich continental shelf waters.
They return carrying food gathered hundreds of kilometers from nests.
Northern gannets track migrating fish through cold North Atlantic seasons.
Precision diving transforms altitude into speed beneath turbulent ocean surfaces.
Colony cliffs become landmarks after months spent roaming offshore waters.
Atlantic puffins carry multiple fish home across rough northern waters. Wilson's storm petrels cross hemispheres while feeding above restless ocean swells.
Tiny bodies survive giant distances by exploiting favorable moving winds.
Great skuas follow colonies and migrating fish across northern seas.
Powerful flight allows pursuit, scavenging, and survival through severe weather. Ahead, frozen horizons will reshape every journey above the ocean.
At the ice edge, migration follows cracks, currents, and prey.
Emperor penguins cross frozen distances before reaching open feeding water.
Underwater speed replaces walking once these birds leave the ice.
Adelie penguins follow retreating ice toward productive summer feeding grounds.
Every dive balances hunger against returning quickly to waiting colonies. Long absences challenge chicks waiting through harsh subantarctic weather alone. Returning adults navigate crowded beaches through sound and individual recognition. Macaroni penguins gather offshore, where krill concentrations shift with currents. Deep dives reveal prey hidden beneath the reach of sunlight.
Stored fat supports breathing fasts after months of offshore feeding.
Northern elephant seals return precisely to beaches after months offshore. Adults conserve energy ashore before another demanding ocean migration begins. Harp seals follow seasonal ice across the cold North Atlantic. Newborn pups depend entirely upon stable platforms of drifting ice. Ice-borne families separate quickly when seasonal currents move northward again. Hooded seals travel through shifting pack ice and deep waters.
Antarctic fur seals move between colonies and distant feeding zones.
Strong swimmers still face storms, predators, and changing prey conditions.
Mothers return repeatedly, guided by scent toward crowded breeding shorelines. Crab-eater seals follow Antarctic ice while hunting abundant krill below. Specialized teeth filter small prey from cold, nutrient-rich polar waters. Below polar ice, squid migrations continue through colder continental waters. Humboldt squid rise nightly, following prey toward productive surface layers. Japanese flying squid cross seasonal waters between feeding and spawning. Powerful fins and jet propulsion support long offshore migrations annually.
Argentine shortfin squid follow productive fronts across the southwest Atlantic.
Dense seasonal gatherings attract fish, seabirds, and marine mammals nearby.
Spawning ends quickly, but drifting eggs continue the next journey. Northern shortfin squid travel between shelf waters and deeper basins. Daily depth changes balance feeding opportunities against daylight exposure risks. Cold currents shape movements across the northwest Atlantic each season. Neon flying squid follow warm currents across the open Pacific. Rapid color changes signal stress, courtship, and nearby competitors clearly. California market squid gather nearshore when cold, productive waters return. Crowded spawning grounds pulse with color above sandy coastal seafloors. Egg capsules remain attached while adults finish their brief migrations.
Longfin inshore squid shift seasonally between offshore and coastal habitats.
Their transparent bodies reveal rapid signals during crowded breeding encounters.
Common cuttlefish return seasonally to shallow coastal waters for reproduction. Changing skin patterns replace speed during close courtship contests underwater.
After spawning, adults weaken, while eggs continue developing beneath shelter.
Pharaoh cuttlefish move between deeper refuges and seasonal breeding grounds. Males display contrasting patterns, while females inspect protected egg sites. Each night, countless animals rise together from the ocean depths. Glacier lanternfish follow darkness upward toward safer feeding waters nightly. Before sunrise, descending fish return nutrients toward deeper ocean layers. Daylight sends them downward again before visual hunters become active.
Hatchetfish rise slowly, carrying deep-sea energy towards surface communities nightly.
Silver bodies reflect surrounding light, concealing silhouettes from hunters below. At dawn, they descend toward darkness before surface predators return. Pacific viperfish ascend after sunset, following smaller migrating prey upward. Long teeth secure slippery prey during brief encounters within darkness. Before morning, these hunters retreat toward colder, deeper water again. Slender bristlemouths dominate deep oceans through astonishing numbers and movement. Northern krill rise toward plankton concentrated beneath dark northern waters. Swarming movement attracts fish, whales, and seabirds across productive seas. Daylight drives the swarm downward, reducing exposure near the surface. Antarctic krill follow darkness upward beneath drifting Southern Ocean ice. Morning light sends krill deeper beneath cold, protective blue water. Calanus finmarchicus rises nightly through North Atlantic water columns seasonally.
Their movements transport stored carbon toward deeper ocean layers daily. Metridia pacifica ascends after sunset throughout the productive North Pacific.
Small copepods feed near surface waters, while darkness offers protection.
Before dawn, they sink beyond the brightest hunting zone again.
Belugas cross summer estuaries before returning toward deeper winter waters.
Family groups communicate constantly while navigating turbid coastal migration corridors. Sound becomes essential where ice and darkness conceal every landmark.
Pacific walruses follow retreating ice toward continental shelf feeding grounds.
Sensitive whiskers locate buried clams beneath cold, disturbed seafloor sediment. When ice disappears, crowded shorelines replace safer offshore resting platforms.
Atlantic walruses travel between feeding banks and remote Arctic haulouts.
Seasonal ice determines access to food, rest, and breeding space. Ringed seals remain close to breathing holes throughout Arctic winters. Strong claws maintain openings as surrounding sea ice repeatedly freezes. Their hidden snow layers protect vulnerable pups from severe weather. Bearded seals follow shallow shelves where seafloor prey remains accessible.
Long whiskers search soft sediment for clams, crabs, and fish.
Moving ice carries resting seals across changing Arctic coastal waters. Spotted seals migrate with seasonal ice across the northern Pacific. Summer brings them toward coastlines, estuaries, and productive shallow waters. Their routes shift constantly as ice retreats earlier each year. Ribbon seals travel alone through drifting ice across northern seas. Distinctive markings disappear quickly beneath broken shadows and dark water. Seasonal movements connect breeding ice with distant summer feeding grounds. Arctic cod gather beneath ice, where cold currents concentrate plankton. Small fish support seals, whales, seabirds, and larger predators above. Their movements connect frozen surfaces with deeper Arctic food webs. Greenland halibut migrate along deep slopes beneath cold northern waters. One dark side faces upward, while pale underside remains hidden.